You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, I've got your weekly prediction edition with Lucas being blamed for Sam's death and Ric tricking his daughter, Molly. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got 5 predictions, one for Ric and Molly, one for Tracy and Lulu, one for Lucas and Sam, one for Jason and Drew, and one for Lucky and Sunny. As always, our predictions are based on recent promos and official ABC Soap spoilers. If you haven't followed us yet, please click subscribe. Now let's dive right in. So our first prediction is Ric is going to trick Molly when it comes to Ava's trial strategy. So Ric's already gotten together with Ava to talk about the one way he thinks they can win her criminal trial, that is her facing manslaughter charges over the death of the baby Christina was carrying. Christina lied and said Ava pushed her out the window, which we know didn't happen. I mean, there was some touching, there was some grabbing, but there was no pushing out the window. It didn't look good, though, because Jocelyn saw Ava with that panicked look on her face, and then she yanked the curtain shut afterwards, and then she moved Kate's luggage that Christina tripped over. So definitely it looks bad. But we all saw Christina chanting this mantra, Ava pushed me, gaslighting herself to convince herself it happened because Christina is to blame as well as Ava, and it was just a tragic accident. But Ric has figured out the way he thinks he can have Ava address the sins of her past he knows are going to come up in court while still appearing sympathetic to the jury. And Alexis already warned Christina what a good lawyer Ric is. So on Friday, Christina was the only one that remembered Molly's birthday and brought her a gift. So they're kind of back on good terms. Then on Monday, November 18th, Alexis says to Christina, I don't think I can get through this today, as they're getting ready for Sam's funeral. That same day, Alexis faces off with Ric. Surely that'll be unpleasant. And Alexis is helping Christina get ready to take the stand. You probably remember that. So on Tuesday the 19th, Molly and Christina are there for Alexis on the day she needs them most at Sam's funeral. And on Wednesday the 20th, Molly unveils Ric's plan. Friday, November 22nd, Ava is anxious and Molly has bad news for Christina. So I wonder if Ric tricks Molly and gives her inaccurate information about the strategy that he is going to use defending Ava, because he's noticed that Molly and Christina are back to being tight on Monday when he sees Alexis. He's a tricky guy and he does not miss much. And I absolutely think he would mislead Molly if he thinks it was in the best interest of his client Ava, because he truly does believe it was an accident and thinks that Molly needs to let this go. And if Christina goes into court with the absolute wrong idea and wrong approach, you know, based on Molly having misinformation and then sharing it behind his back, that could work out really well for Ric and Ava, but it would probably really tick off Alexis and Molly. Our second prediction, Tracy wants Lulu close by after she's out of the coma. In case you don't remember, Tracy adores her stepdaughter, Lulu Spencer. She was raising her as a teenager when Laura Spencer wasn't around, and Luke Spencer was not always the most responsible dad, not always around himself. Tracy has been absolutely devastated and feeling helpless while Lulu has been in this liver crisis during her coma, but things change soon, and Tracy may step up for Lulu again. Tuesday, November 19th, Lulu is awake, the same day that Sam is laid to rest. On Thursday, the 21st, Dante is considering his next move, and a spoiler photo that I cannot show you for copyright reasons, because it was only released to TV Insider, has Lulu Spencer wide awake and out of the hospital, sitting on the sofa in the Quartermaine living room. With Rocco Falconeri, Lulu's only child that's in Port Charles right now, living at the Quartermaine mansion, it makes sense that's where Lulu would be. Plus, Laura has baby Ace at her house, and, you know, it may not be the best environment for Lulu's recovery out of a coma to deal with a crying baby. And as much as Tracy says she dislikes having a house full of kids, she'd absolutely love having Lulu under her roof. So she may insist that Lulu come home to recuperate after being released from the hospital. Our third prediction, Lucas winds up blamed for Sam's death, at least for a little while. Lucas is absolutely terrified he messed something up in Sam's surgery and that he is the reason that she died. He confided that the other day in Brad Cooper before Carly came along and ran him off, as she does. And if you remember, Portia asked Dr. Isaiah Gannon if he thought that there were any surgical errors made by Lucas, and he said no. He thought it was textbook, but we are still waiting on those dang autopsy results. And given the fact that they are burying her on Tuesday, I would think that the autopsy is done. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get those results this week. We'll see. Monday the 18th, Danny has some harsh things to say to Lucas, so he may be already blaming him. And Lucas joins Maxie at the church before his sister's funeral starts on Monday. He's feeling guilty, but Maxie is not going to let him do that. On Tuesday the 19th, Ava and Lucas find common ground. I'm guessing it's guilt over the death of people they cared for. Wednesday the 20th, Dante and Christina want justice. Could be about something else. Could be, about Sam's death. And that same day, Elizabeth gets news that alarms her, and it could be about those autopsy results. Thursday the 21st, Dante considers his next move, and it could be about, suing General Hospital. And Friday the 22nd, Ava is anxious, and it could be about her trial, or it could be her worried about her nephew Lucas and what that autopsy says. So I don't think long-term that it's going to be that Lucas did anything wrong. And I'm back to that leak that came out a while ago about Cyrus doing something. And again, I just don't think General Hospital is going to ultimately do something that would affect public perception negatively about donating organs. So I think they're going to circle back around to that eventually. But Digitalis doesn't show up on the standard drug test results for autopsy. So initially it may look like surgical error, and Lucas may look like he is at fault at first. But I don't think long term that he is going to be to blame, but it may get really messy and dramatic as we close down sweeps and the truth comes out later. Our fourth prediction, Jason vows to ruin Drew before it's all over. Jason told Ric he won't say anything to anyone, but he refused to sign an NDA about keeping quiet about Drew and Willow. And Drew seems content to let it lie for now, but he doesn't know that Jason knows that he slept with Willow. So he doesn't know the keg of dynamite that could explode at any time. And beyond kicking Drew's ass and busting up his face, I don't think Jason is done with this, because I don't think that he thinks Drew has paid enough for what he's done to Michael's marriage. So on Monday the 18th, Drew tells Nina nothing is stopping Jason from going to that funeral, because I'm sure she's stressed out about them being in the same place. On Wednesday, the 20th, Jason and Danny have an emotional, heartfelt talk. And of course, Jason's very worried about the kids finding out about all this stuff between him and Drew. Thursday, the 21st, Michael opens up to Sasha and confides in her. And I think he might tell her, what Willow and Drew did. Maybe even just to make her feel better about what she and Michael did. And that same day, Jason is adamant about something, and it may be about taking Drew down once and for all. Friday the 22nd, Jason needs Dante's advice. So I think that's about Danny. Right now, Jason doesn't want the kids hurt by punishing Drew. That's why he waited till they were in bed before he brawled with his brother. But that doesn't mean he's going to let Drew get away with wrecking Michael's marriage. And, Jason was basically Michael's first dad, and Michael was Jason's first kid. So I think he's going to find a quiet way to try and destroy Drew that won't hurt the kids. Maybe dismantling Drew's reputation in another way. Maybe letting the rest of the family know what Drew did sleeping with Willow. Maybe letting Willow know that everybody knows. This is far from over. Even though Jason didn't tell Carly, I think that's just because he's trying to figure out how to make this happen. Our fifth and final prediction, Lucky gets an offer to run Charlie's Pub. Lucky's getting that itch to run, and Liz is annoyed with him for considering bailing on Aiden again. Lucky was hoping Isaiah would run with him, but the doc is thinking about starting over in Port Chuck and settling down. And, Jordan has him leaning towards taking that job at GH. Plus, Molly was flirting with him. If she and TJ crash and burn, then Isaiah can entertain her or Jordan or both. But Lucky needs a purpose, or at least a job, as he told Sonny on Friday, and he doesn't want to be a cop again. That just wasn't him. So Sonny made a call after he and Lucky parted ways, and he'd already told him he could find him a legit job because he knows Laura would kill him if he offered him something illegal. So spoilers for Monday the 18th. Lucky gets an offer he didn't expect from somebody he doesn't even know. And I just wonder if it is about Charlie's Pub. Remember, Sonny bought Charlie's after the Tano burned up in Nixon Falls, and he gave it to Phyllis Caulfield, or gave it to her to run. I can't remember if he gave it to her or gave it to her to run. And Christina was actually managing it at one point, but then she flaked off doing her foundation, which she's not even doing anymore. So Phyllis could probably use the help. And slinging drinks seems like something Lucky can do. I mean, it remains to be seen if they would actually revive this set, because we've been seeing a lot of the Brown Dog Bar lately, the axe throwing set, that new restaurant the students are eating at, plus the other restaurant where Rick and Ava were at, the tea shop, a bunch of different sets they've got going on right now. But food service is actually something that is in Lucky's wheelhouse. And again, remember, these are predictions, not spoilers.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.